From giant sauropods walking on their front legs to unfortunate squids and a new species of Allosaurus, this is a look at the top paleo news stories from January 2020. Sauropods are among the most recognizable of all prehistoric animals. They are identified by long necks and tails and tree-like legs holding up creatures of enormous weight, measured in tens of thousands of pounds. This weight baffled early paleontologists, some of whom concluded they must have spent much of their time in the water to support it. Later decades of research disproved the theory of semi-aquatic sauropods, but a recent discovery suggests that now and then they may have taken a dip. A trackway of front foot impressions, called Manus-only tracks, found in 2007 in Texas, has gotten a recent review. It is generally considered that since these giants bore more weight on the front legs than the hind, only those left impressions in this particular situation. However, another possibility is that the creatures were crossing deep water. In this case, they might have pushed themselves along the bottom, essentially punting their way along. While the swimming theory is not generally accepted, it cannot yet fully be dismissed. A different trackway in South Africa was the subject of a study released at the end of the month, revealing that dinosaurs once walked on fire. The footprints in a layer of sandstone positioned between two layers of igneous rock recorded a terrifying event. Dr. Emesa Bordi said the individuals likely survived the volcanic event, but, quote, their dwindling habitat would have been turned into a land of fire. In mid-January, the San Diego Natural History Museum released information regarding a growth analysis study of a feathered dinosaur called Wulong bohaiensis. This small early relative of velociraptors was a juvenile and sported a coat of feathers. Unlike birds, which get their feathers after reaching full size, this creature had feathers at a much earlier stage of development, suggesting an important difference between these distant cousins. At the end of the month, Prehistoric Sharks made the paleo news with the discovery of a 330-million-year-old jaw preserved in a Kentucky cave. This is a unique find because shark skeletons are made of cartilage, not bone, and thus do not fossilize as frequently or as well. The lower jaw was found protruding from a rock wall in Mammoth Cave National Park and measured about 2.5 feet long. That would make the animal's size on the order of a modern great white. Another aquatic fossil discovered in Germany back in 2012 captured a record of an ancient battle at sea. The fossil features an impression of an unfortunate squid with a small tooth embedded in it. The tooth is a good match for a flying reptile known as a rhamphorhynchus that patrolled the seas 150 million years ago. It suggests that these pterosaurs swept the ocean's surface in an attempt to hook their prey. This particular squid probably got away, but it is unlikely to have survived for long. Finally, the biggest announcement of January 2020 was the formal introduction of a new species of Allosaurus. While several Allosaurus species have been proposed over the years, only two, Allosaurus fragilis and Allosaurus europaeus, have been accepted, until now. The third is called Allosaurus Jim Madseni, after deceased Utah paleontologist Jim Madsen, famous for his Allosaurus research. The bulk of the skeleton was found in 1990, but it lacked a skull, making it impossible to determine the precise species. Then, 6 years later, the skull was located nearby using a radiation detector. Now, after a long process of careful study, the new species was formally described by Mark Lowen and Daniel Chur. The 9-meter-long predator lived 155 million years ago, earlier than its larger cousin, Allosaurus fragilis. The newly named species was also more lightly built. It had a lower crest on its snout and smaller ridges above the eyes. However, with 80 teeth, this species was likely the apex predator of its day. A Million Bones of Stone brings you updates each month on the major announcements in the world of paleontology, as well as specials, looks inside the science, and short documentaries. If you find something of value, please subscribe to our channel, share our work, and if you can, support us on patreon.com. Your contributions not only bring the world of paleontology to life for a wide audience, you also help support our internship program. Thank you.